Is this not the best cartoon that has come out since the 2000s? Easily after Clone Wars. This is... By the way, Steve in the house. Good to see you. All right, sorry. I'll lose my work shirt for all of you here on the stream. I won't even charge you. for the OnlyFans on this one. Boom. There you go. Always repping. Easily the best show, I think. Best cartoon show. Best animated show. In a post Clone Wars era. Right? Hang on. Best animated superhero shows all time. There we go. So, Batman the Animated Series, to me, is number one animated show. I think Batman the Animated Series would be number one because I think Batman the Animated Series, much like Batman 89, laid the groundwork for what an animated series could be for kids, adults, teenagers, everybody. Break out those singles, Sexy Steve in Time. Hello, ladies. Wish I had the Val Venus music. I'm going to make myself larger here so you guys can see the Ectotech shirt. Yeah. Batman the Animated Series, I think number one animated series all time because it set the groundwork for what shows could be. Followed by, I would say, Spider-Man the Animated Series. I feel like Spider-Man the Animated Series, great long-form storytelling. How many seasons was it? 5 also? Yeah, 5. 5 seasons. Great start to finish. What was crazy about Spider-Man the Animated Series, they were not allowed to show violence on screen. So Spider-Man, if you go back and watch the show, never punches or kicks anybody. They're always just throwing people. There's no like clash of fist to face. Maybe explosions around them or something, but there's no contact. So despite all that, Spider-Man the Animated Series, I think, number 2. Then we probably hit X-Men, I'd say. Hit X-Men on that list. To round out top 5, and I probably wouldn't debate an order here, but I feel like this is pretty universal. To round out a top 5 of best animated cartoons, number 4, I have Justice League. I'm counting Unlimited in there as well. Number 5, ooh. Number 5 animated cartoon all time. I really want to say Clone Wars, but I feel like Gargoyles just doesn't get enough respect. I feel like, yeah, Dave right there at the same damn time. I feel like Gargoyles doesn't get enough respect as a cartoon. How many seasons was that? 3 probably? I feel like 3. I think the first 2 were just crazy amounts of episodes. So we have Batman, Spider-Man, X-Men, Justice League, Gargoyles. Top 5 cartoons all time. But let me know down below. Aaron says, is this a general ranking or official on Letterboxd? Not sure if they have that on there. Letterboxd is not consistent with having TV shows on here. So like if I type in Justice League, yeah, see, Unlimited's not on there. So there needs to be another app or website that does cartoon or TV shows. But I mean, I think that 5 is pretty solid, right? Teen Titans was great. A lot of people don't talk about Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That was great. First 2 seasons of Young Justice, untouchable, absolutely untouchable. Ultimate Spider-Man wasn't bad. Wolverine and the X-Men was also not terrible. Oh, Static Shock. I mean, Static Shock's great. You know, so many great shows out there, but I feel like we hit a wall. We hit a wall in those early 2000s, and I feel like X-Men 97 really took us back to form. Took us back to like what a cartoon could be. What a cartoon could be. Similar to Ghostbusters Afterlife, similar to The Force Awakens, I think there was a lot of Easter egg baiting in the show. If I'm going to nitpick something, if I'm to nitpick just one thing on the show, it's that every episode, almost every episode, you're like, oh, there's that character or that reference, you know, that kind of thing going on. But that's kind of like my only real nitpick. You know, I was confused. I want to say if the guys went back through the group chat, I would say about how many episodes were there? It's 8. 10. I would say around episode 7 or 8, I wasn't quite sure where we were. I wasn't sure. How do I phrase this? I wasn't sure how we got to where we got in the show. I felt like I was lost at a certain point. Like the Storm and Forge episodes, I was kind of just like, whatever. This one with Mojo, it was a good side quest. I mean, really, those are like what, 2 filler episodes out of 10. The Mojo one was okay, but I thought that one was very just Easter eggy. Like, here's this guy. So I wasn't sure where the show was going. But then once I hit episode 10, or I should say once we hit episode 9, I was like, okay, I see the line going straight through. But I mean, out of nowhere, just amazing. And to Steve's point here, you know, everything changed after 9/11. Oh, sorry. Bo, the writer of the show of 97, not the OG show. By the way, shout out to T3 over on his No Shills podcast. He had on the original showrunners of X-Men 97. Why isn't it popping up? Is it without the S? There you go. So yeah, he had on the couple that were the head writers of the OG show. I'm mad. I'm not gonna lie, I'm mad. I've thought about that for a long time, asking them, and I didn't. T3 beat me to it. Shout out to T3. Where was I going with this? Episode lists, story thread, filler. I don't know. Somebody remind me where I left off. Anyway, 9/11. So Bo, this isn't a spoiler. You guys have probably, just in case, somebody dies on the show, like dead. Not like at the end of the episode they reverse time. Cable's like, oh no, and none of that. Like dead. They kill somebody off, and Bo was saying that episode was influenced by something like 9/11, where as a kid in New York City, you're just living your life, time's going by as normal, and then all of a sudden everything changed. Second, blink of an eye, just changed. And he was like, that's a real learning thing that he had to go through, and it affected him for the rest of his life, and he wanted to put that kind of emotion into the show to be like, that can happen. Like, nobody, I think he even said it, like, nobody's safe from just life, and sometimes shit happens. So he put that into the writing of the episode, and it was such a good episode. He was just a great writer in general on that show. But yeah, they laid the groundwork, Eric and Julia. Definitely pick up their book if you get a chance, and check out this episode. I will share that in the comments so you guys can watch that. Dave says, my fear is X-Men 97 will cause sequels for Spider-Man and many more, but my fear will be those eventual sequel shows will fail. X-Men 97 was a certain magic, a certain formula others can't recreate. It's an agree and disagree. I talked about it, I think 2 weeks ago, where I was very, I feel like I wasn't standing on my opinion because my opinion was changing as I was talking to you guys. You know, I truly think Spider-Man the Animated Series was a perfect start to finish show. I felt like the last episode where Madam Web takes him to go find MJ was like a great ending. It's like the ending of Justice League Unlimited. Like when, after they save the world from Darkseid, and it's not the end of the series. There's like two or a couple. Was that the end of the series? I feel like they had a couple episodes after that. I feel like Justice League Unlimited was like I'm gonna have to pull the episode list. Anyway, Spider-Man the Animated Series had an amazing ending. So like, I don't want them to open that book up and add to it. I feel like it was just great as is. However, if it's somebody like Bo doing Spider-Man the animated series, or his team, if they're able to get, you know, the OG writers of the show back, if they can get the actual voice actor, Christopher, I can't remember his last name, if they get him back, then I'm like, all right, maybe they can do it. Maybe they can. With X-Men 97, they didn't ask the original writers to come back, but they asked them to be consultants on it. So maybe you do something like that, right? But I also just don't want them to ruin it. I just don't want them to ruin it. So with something like Spider-Man, I'm really on the fence about it. But Disney just doesn't have a great track record, you know? They just don't. And Christopher Daniel Barnes, thank you. I don't know. We'll see. So Justice League Unlimited, yeah, he said he's down. Yeah, I think I shared that last week. I don't know. I almost rather them go back into like the Gargoyles well. Like that show just ended like abruptly. You know, like it kind of went to shit. Just like X-Men did. X-Men ended, you know, they sold off the animation to a different studio that final season. They told the writers to like start taking a walk. Like it was just bad. You know, where Spider-Man had a true ending. But it's funny, thinking back to that era, like the Fox Kids era, your show was effed when you got moved to like the 8 a.m. slot. If your show got moved to before 10, like things are rough. But if you're between the 8 and 9 time slot, your show's toast. 9 a.m. was like iffy. But once Spider-Man and X-Men went to that 8 a.m., 8:30 on Saturdays, it was a wrap. 10 a.m. was like peak. 10 a.m., like at one point that was X-Men, but then Power Rangers took that for a long time. Then Power Rangers got bumped. Then eventually Fox Kids just went away. But yeah, once they moved that over, it was a wrap. Same with Gargoyles, actually. So many are still around, yes. But Gargoyles, that one also on CW got bumped up, and they made the Adventures. The Goliath Chronicles. Was that last season? Wasn't good. Yeah, Jordan Peele, whatever his name is, he's gonna do a live action. I have no faith in that. Zero. Anyway, so Justice League Unlimited. Let's see, season 2. So Epilogue was like some of the best writing cartoon, best TV all time. Like Epilogue is like one of the best episodes in anything ever. I feel like Epilogue is a hard one to pitch to people because I have some friends, for example, that are younger, right? They're not pushing 40 per se. So Justice League, Batman animated series, Superman, or I should say the Adventures of Superman, like those weren't their cartoons. So to get them to watch all of it is usually a hard sell because they're like, oh, the animation's not good, blah, blah, blah. Epilogue, I think, is a show or an episode that 100% fan services the kids that grew up with Batman, Superman, Batman Beyond, Justice League, and Static Shock. That's like the love letter to us. So while it's the best episode in the entire anything, it's a hard sell if somebody hasn't watched any of it or all of it. You really have to watch all of it to enjoy Epilogue. Personal opinion. But then season 3, Destroyer, that's the one where Darkseid seizes and gets the anti-monitor or anti-life equation. And all hands on deck. Superman does that amazing punch where it's like, my whole life I've had to hold back my punches, and for once I never have to. And freaking like sonic boom when he punched Darkseid. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And then that final shot when all the Justice League run down the stairs. Let me pull that up. Can I pull that up? I'll risk getting pulled for this one.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds, and I'm here.
Also, let me know, as my voice shatters, if you guys can hear the audio on this when it's playing. Because I haven't tested that yet.
I should be back in time for dinner. I love you too.
These are the end times.
A head start. You're getting soft in your old age.
Don't you have a tall building to go lead?
And the adventure continues.
Chills. Chills. You couldn't hear it? Superman spoke like he was everywhere before coming out of the ether to hit Darkseid. Yeah. Autocorrect. Oh, so you could hear it. Goosebumps. Yeah. It was so good. It was just so good. As all of us in the group chat, we are slowly making our way through Crisis on Infinite Earths, the animated movie, and there's no feeling to it. There's just no emotion to it. They're pulling an Endgame on the newer animated Justice League stuff that it just didn't hit. It just didn't hit. While we're at it,